Welcome, beautiful souls. So excited. This is the beginning of Virgo season, our soul activation mini workshop that we will be implementing videos every week for you to follow. And this is something that we invite you to follow along with as we go through Virgo season. When I say Virgo, I'm not only talking about my Virgo sun signs, I'm talking about all souls, all natal charts, all zodiac signs. This really means when I talk Virgo season, it means that the sun is moving into the constellation of Virgo. So this just brings a certain aspect of energy within our energetic environment. And so I want you to know what that energy is like so that we can work with it, as we are all so individual and so different, and we interact with the energies that are surrounding us each day very differently. So by bringing forward some of the essences and energies of Virgo, it can support you with understanding your own energy a little bit better throughout each zodiac season. I'm excited about this. We just finished doing Leo season, which was quite a crazy season. It was activating, it was fiery, it was, really heightened and really low. I'm not sure how you got on with Leo season, but I'm really excited to move into Virgo being a little more grounded and a little more focused, based on what we did explore in Leo season. We explored some of our playfulness and our joys, finding the simple pleasures, and just activating some of the bigger things that we want to get up to. We had the Lionsgate portal where we worked through manifestation and writing out all of our manifestations, so putting everything out on the line. And now we are kind of bringing it all back into a more focused energy. This video is going to be me explaining a little bit of what the essence of Virgo is like. And if you want to go back and really listen to the channeling that I did a week ago, you can go back and listen to that video just to get like a feel for the energy and the kind of initial idea of what Virgo season is moving into this year. This is going to be a little more around what is actually Virgo energy and how you can usher through and work through and navigate this season, and what's kind of coming up with this workshop. So we do these workshops every zodiac season. So every zodiac season starts around the 22nd or 23rd of every month. So 30 days go by and we work with this energy. Each energy is very, very different because each sign has a different element attached to it, which brings a different essence and energy to work with. I really like to focus with astrology on actually approaching it in a more experiential way instead of giving you a bunch of information. It's really important to us at Essence that you have these experiences in order to decipher and discern around your own energy and how your energy and how the essence of your energy shows up season to season. So not all of us will work with each season in the same way, and which is another really important reason why we're inviting all souls to work with this energy and work with us in this way so that we can support you and guide you through as the season goes along. We have and we do offer individual sessions. We only have a few of those each month. So with this workshop, there's only 10 spots for us to do readings. So if you're interested in that and want a little bit more guidance and want your own personalized roadmap for this season, get on that right away so that we can start to work on that for you so that you have that as a tool to move through your own personalized season of Virgo. I want to dive into Virgo energy. So Virgo energy is an earth sign. It's a bit more around independence and resourcefulness and just finding our inner strength. So we came off of Leo season, activating some of our manifestations, just reflecting on, broadening the scope of what it is we desire and want to create in our lives. And so you'll find with Virgo energy, being that it's an earth sign and a bit more grounding, we'll have a little more presence. And with presence and grounding comes with a bit more of a clearer channel so that our energy works in more of a clearer way of channeling so that we get more focused ideas. So when we're a little bit more open with air signs or even with water signs, we're kind of a bit more expanded, which means there's more things going on within our awareness, whereas earth energy is a bit more logical. We can be a bit more focused with this energy. So we came off of Leo with all of these ideas. So what we're really inviting you to do this season is to really pick a few things to focus on, knowing that we're working on this with this energy, with this particular season. It's the best way to work with something is to focus this season. And that doesn't mean that we can't go back to focusing on other things post-season, or maybe midway through Virgo, you'll realize, oh, there's a different thing that I actually want to be focusing on. So always give yourself grace with the energy, and it's about you exploring how you interact with this energy and what this energy is bringing forward for you in terms of your messages to action things forward and continue growing and moving. So we're always growing and moving, and that's another reason why we love looking at every season in a unique way, so that when we work with astrology, it's really to kind of invite our awareness to it, as if we would work with the moon and the moon cycles. The moon is a very, very specific energy where we're working with more of the entire solar system, which is present within your natal chart and affects your soul as a whole, whereas the moon is just a particular part of your natal chart. So when we work through the whole Virgo season, we're looking at all of the transits that are going on. So we're going to be keeping tabs with you the whole time. Every week we're going to let you know about what's going on, what is a transit that we might be focusing on, that we might be able to usher in a couple of more manifestations or a couple of more ideas, or maybe it's a bit of a shifted energy based off the whole of Virgo earth energy. Some things kind of spike up, as we heard in the channeling, that there's some spiky energies that we get to work with. So we will explain that when we get there. But I just want you to know, just a quick little know of what is Virgo. And then from there, we're going to work on doing your reflections, which you'll see in the bottom of this video. There are some guidance on the reflections. And if you want to know a bit more ahead of time what's coming and what's coming up, there's a link as well to download the roadmap for Virgo season. So you might want to get that if you want to really follow along and know what we're moving towards. Download that roadmap, but we will also be doing videos based on the roadmap and inviting you in and reminding you of those dates and how you can work with those particular days with those energies. So with further ado, I'm going to get into Virgo and just a couple of the things you're going to want to kind of pay attention to in your own awareness, and then from there you will move into the soundscape and you will do the meditation and the soul activation. You can do that soul activation at any point along your journey in Virgo season. It's carrying the Virgo energy. So if you need a bit of a reminder or you need to ground again based on some of the energies you're feeling, you can utilize that soundscape for anything you need throughout the season. It'll be really important for you just to bring forward your intentions on that and ask us questions if you're not sure how to approach a certain thing within the season. Just let us know and we can help set you up. I'm going to just recap the Akashic record reading that I did a week ago, just as a reminder of what to move into, and then you can always go back and listen to that again to get a bit more information. But Virgo season this year is really, there's not a lot going on. I mean, Leo season, there was a lot of big energy and a lot of spiky energy, and it was big. There's a big portal going on. We're not having anything like that this season, but it's a lot more grounded and a lot more centered. we're going to have more of a focused energy. So pick 2 things to start off with this season to focus on, and see how you can carry those through the season. And another invitation that we got from the Akashic record reading was for you to pick an emotion that you want to carry through different aspects of your life. So whether you're picking joy or love or maybe gratitude, whatever it might be, just see how you can invite that in to all areas of your life. So you're picking one essence of an emotion, and then you are measuring that up against everything in that you're experiencing. So whether it's you going to do the dishes, or you calling a friend, or you having a conversation with your loved one, or you working on a project in your business, you want to put that emotion into whatever it is you're doing. So how can I bring joy into this thing that I'm doing? If they're responsibilities, if they're habits that you're building and they're still feeling like they're a bit of a struggle to them, this emotion will be really handy for you to apply to that thing, so that it can be a little more easeful for you to make that action towards it. Just know that there's an undertone of energy that is ushering us through to carry through some of the habits that we were reflecting on in Leo season. So remember, maybe you need to reference your Leo season notes. And if you didn't do the workshop with us with Leo season, that's okay. Just reflect on what are some of these habits that I want to continue working on this season, knowing that there's a bit more of an easeful, focused energy towards that. It's like almost like you don't need to cultivate it because it's just built into the Virgo energy. So know that that's carrying you forward, which allows you to kind of stay focused on some of the manifestations that you might be working towards. Focused is a really important word this season, and just picking a couple things to work through and not getting too overwhelmed with what it is that you're working on. If too many ideas are starting to come in, use that focused energy to push those away so that you can stay on task and stay on the things that you're working towards. Doesn't mean that those things won't come back later, but I really want you to practice trust that those ideas will come back in a new season. Also, it's really important. It doesn't mean that you drop those things off and you've got to stay focused on this thing. The 2 things that I requested, if those 2 things are just not feeling good and you don't want to continue on, then bring in one of those other ideas, and if they're feeling better, and continue focusing on that for the last half of the season. So choose your own discernment, use your own awareness and energy. And again, if you need support with this, there's ways to reach out to us, ask us questions. Start with 2 things. If one of those things is not feeling good, move on to something else. But just be aware that if you start to expand your energy and open your awareness to too many things, you are going to have to make sure that you're grounding yourself back down. So there's a few things that could happen, and there's a couple of spikes in the energy this season. So you might find that happens. Just first, before you move on to another idea, ground yourself down and make sure that your energy is focused and clear. One more thing that I want you to be aware of is this idea of independence. So independence through Virgo is not meaning that you're doing everything alone. It really just means that you are standing strong in the things that you're getting up to. So those things that you're focusing on, where can you ask for help with those things, if those are what you're standing for? Or where can you commit to leaving yourself space to get those things done? Maybe you need to communicate with someone that I don't have time to do that because I'm focused on working on this. So just remember that independence doesn't mean being alone. It still means interacting, but standing strong in what it is that you're getting up to. And you can use that as a gauge and a measure to, how am I choosing? and just observing how that impacts others around you. Maybe they will be inspired by you and want to do that with you, or maybe they will offer you help, you know, that kind of thing. So just, you never know what can happen from continuing to be communicative and building those relationships, whether it's with your business or with your loved ones. Just find independence in the idea of that you're standing strong in the things that you want to get up to, and you're not starting to be codependent on others. So you're still making actions towards the things that you are focusing on this season. Have a look at some of the outline below. There's a couple of questions that we asked you to get started before you dive into the soul activation. So make sure after you finish watching this video, you go underneath and look at the questions and do a little session of reflection before you move on to doing the soul activation. Remember, you can do the soul activation anytime. Bring in your own intention to that energy. So whatever you have going on day to day throughout the season or week to week, you can go back and dive into the soul activation to either ground yourself or, you know, remind yourself of some of the things that you want to be focusing on. So, or keeping your energy at a point where you can just take easeful action towards those things that you've chosen to focus on this season. So love you. If you have any questions, please put them down in the box below and we'll be happy to answer them. We want to get the community together on this one and just have so much fun with this and create and manifest and just continue that joy and that fun forward from Leo season. So love you and enjoy the soul activation. And if you have any questions based off the soul activation, make sure you reach out. Love you. Enjoy.